These Storms, their own feedback defense is Grubby's pulling out for perfect engagement. The Storm can bring down the Broodlord. He does have another Vortex available, another feedback. Oh my god!
Hello everybody and welcome to the Good Studio, the King of the Hill, Heart of the Swarm final day. It is day 4, the beta is closing this evening and we're going to end it with a bang with one final day of games. Of course, I'm Sean Paul Clark, the host for you guys, joined with Adebisi, who will be helping out with all things helpful.
That's why I'm here.
That's why you're here. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Looking forward to the game. Sad the beta's ending. Not going to be able to play. I mean, this is pretty much the last live games. I think there's another E-set, HotS show match thing going on, but otherwise, until IM, this is it.
This is going to be the most competitive StarCraft you guys can watch until, of course, the Interstream Masters next week, which me and Adebisi will be going to.
Yeah, pretty excited about that.
Going to Germany on Monday, going to be flying out to Hanover, and we'll be commentating / observing the 5-day Heart of the Storm tournament. So it's going to be a long week for sure, and then straight after that, we're going over to France for the Heart of the Swarm Blizzard launch event. So we've got lots of stuff coming up. So if tonight you're not fulfilled with everything, well, you've got a week's worth next week as well. Adebisi, so I heard you had a very productive day today, getting up nice and early, doing a lot of things.
Yeah, waking up at 5 in the afternoon is a nice and early good day for me. You see, the things I'm actually just so passionate about StarCraft, I adjusted my sleep schedule so that when you're going to bed like a chump tonight, I'm going to go play Heart of the Swarm. You're going to be asleep.
When the beta's closed.
The beta's, it's going to close like Pacific time, man. I'm going to be able to play until like 5 a.m. What are you going to do? You're going to sleep and you're going to wake up and you're going to do what? Make some notes?
Do you know what? Do you know what I've actually done?
What have you done?
I've stored a lot of replays. I haven't watched a lot of Heart of the Swarm content because I've saved it all in a library because I know I'm going to go in with withdrawal symptoms for the next couple of days. So I've got lots of stuff to watch. So I'm actually going to be great when I wake up nice and early, have a cup of tea and a piece of toast, and I'll be ready to go for the day. But going on to what we'll be seeing today is, of course, the final day of the King of the Hill, Heart of the Swarm. We have a good amount of players, a good amount of skilled players in this tournament. Our king that continues fighting today is, of course, Polt, who is teamless, very surprisingly, but I'm sure that won't be like that for too much more time because it's Polt. Everybody wants Polt. If I had a team, I'd have Polt.
He's a pretty good player to have.
He's a very good player.
I mean, keep going.
I
was just going to talk about Polt. Like, I mean, he's going to be at MLG. He's going to be at the American launch event. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere, and he's teamless.
He's here.
He's single and looking for a date. So anyone out there, give him a message. He will be going up against a GSL champion. Both of these guys do have their respective GSL badges. Polt coming from the Super Tournament, and of course Seed actually winning GSL KOTH itself. And they'll be our first 2 players of the night, and of course that's going to be a KOTH level game series in Heart of the Swarm. So definitely looking forward to it. Of course, Seed, one of the best Protoss players in Heart of the Swarm, and had transitioned over to it a long time ago, is going up against our current king. So it's going to be a great start of the day. Going up straight after that will be Demaga, who unfortunately messaged me this morning and said he has the flu and said that he won't be able to play today, unfortunately, due to sickness. So we got Demaga in last minute to replace, so thank you very much to Demaga, and of course you guys can thank him as well. And he'll be playing the Zerg today, alongside one guy towards the end, which we'll get to in a moment. After that, though, after Demaga plays, he will, if winning, will play against Axiom's Heart. So Total Biscuit and Jenna Bain, or should I say John Bain and Jenna Bain's Team Axiom will have Heart play today. And then finally, last but not least, if you've watched the King of the Hill series, we had a discussion about the balance between entering the tournament at the start or going last. At the start, you play for more money, because you obviously have more games if you win more. But if you play last, you have a 50-50 shot whether you go to another day. But this is the last day. There will be no more days after this. So we thought, well, isn't it a bit weird to invite another player that won't have a lot of chance to win a lot of money and won't play on another day? So Too Good come up with a solution saying, well, let's just invite back the guy who's had the longest streak within our King of the Hill series, and that, of course, was Quantix Hyun. So he will come back today with 5 wins in a row. He did get beat down by Pult on our last show, and he will play the last game of the day to round up everything, and we'll see if Pult can go through everyone to get his revenge against Hyun. That's going to be a big story that will unravel here today. But it's time to focus on game number 1. Pult versus Seed at a BC. Are they ready?
We got the lobby up. Check to make sure the players are ready. This was, of course, Seed's choice. He's the challenger coming in, so we give the challenger the map choice.
What map is it?
It is going to be Alkaline Waste.
Okay.
And both players are ready. So
both players are ready, guys. Let's begin the first game of the evening. It is time. And we're about to jump into map number 1 here between Seed, a GSL champion, and Pult, a Super Tournament champion. These games are played live, as you can see right in front of you. Both are there in the lobby talking. It's about to begin here on Alkaline Waste. And, well, both players, Grandmaster, Pult, easily one of the better Terrans so far in Heart of the Swarm, dominating in our King of the Hill series, winning his MLG match as well to qualify for MLG Dallas, compared to Seed, who is arguably the best Protoss in Heart of the Swarm. He's been playing it for a very long time. He's always near the top tier, top of the ladder. And now it's time they will face off here at the Good Studio. Let's go ahead and introduce our 2 players. Up here in the top left, it is, of course, LGIM Seed. There's his real name. I'm not going to attempt to say it. You can follow him on Twitter, LGIM Seed. Arguably, as mentioned, #1 Protoss in Heart of the Swarm and is a GSL champion. One of two. Down here, spawning in the bottom right, it is Pult. Teamless, as mentioned, you can follow him on Twitter, at Pult88. He's a super aggressive player and super speedy. I wanted to put fast in there, but I decided speedy was a better way to describe him. He's a very fast individual, and of course, he likewise holds a GSL Golden Badge, which, when he gets a new team, he can wear it on his new team shirt.
That he can. And he is the best one, too, man. He won the Super Tournament. That was a big lump sum of money you got right there.
Is it 100? No, was it 100,000 first place?
I think it was like 88 or 90,000.
That's a lot of money.
Quite, because it was less than BWC, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot of money. And we do have Pult here opening up with a barracks and a supply depot within the wall. So far, Pult hasn't really displayed too much of taking early gases, but we'll see what he's going to open up with here against Seed. Definitely a viable option, but he is very much so a 1 barracks command center player, which is what we're going to be seeing here. He's just a little bit later of a gas here, going on 14 instead of 13. So we will be opening up with gas, and this tells us all, as you know, vivid StarCraft 2 followers, that we will be seeing a bit of aggression here from Pult. You don't take a gas and then don't do anything with it. You're going to either be teching up to factory, you either go Reaper opening, whether it be a reactor coming down. So a lot of options already starting to unfold here for Pult, and we'll see what he's going to do with it. He's not rushing to go into gas with all 3 straight away. Oh, actually, yes, he is. Excuse me, I'll take that back. On the other hand, though, Seed, double gas before Cybernetics Core. In gas with all 3. This is a very intensive gas build coming out here from Seed. Sometimes you see players take double gas early and only get in there with 2, which doesn't increase their gas by a certain amount until they get in fully. But with Seed going in with 3 harvesters in each assimilator, he absolutely here is looking to do something, whether it's a one gate Stargate, 1 gateway into 1 Stargate into an expansion play, whether it be DTs or a pylon on the right hand side of the map, and that seems to be a pylon where he may want to hide things here, but Pult's going to go in there, and he's going to see it out of BC. He sees the gases, he sees all 3 in both gases momentarily here as he skips through, and he will check the top right as well where that 3rd hidden pylon is, and that's the first thing Pult's going to do, is look for a 3rd pylon here, because as a Terran player, if you don't see the 3rd pylon, where is it? It has to be somewhere. Is it in his base or is it out? He actually didn't see it and didn't find it, so questions must be arriving here for Pult on the front door saying, what is he doing? And with a Reaper opening straight over to Tech Lab, he's not used his gas too aggressively in the early stages here. In a bunker, a pretty fast bunker, before additional barracks, before additional anything. It does have a very fast stim, which, as a Terran player, as a Protoss player, you'll know is very, very good against early aggression. And the Reaper gets pushed away here.
Yeah, he should be able to keep poking with his Reaper here and see that Nexus, and that will make him safer. Although he may elect just to leave it in the center here, holding his unlocked tower. Either way, with a bunker, should be pretty safe. And of course, seeing a sentry, when you see a sentry combo with a mothership, you're not going to be as worried about that immediate aggression with stalkers and also tech. Yeah,
that's 200 gas that's gone away from, you know, any structures here. He will poke in again. One thing that I've noticed Seed do a lot is he does like hallucination, but we do have a robotics facility coming behind this with 2 threat sentries coming up to 3 and a mothership core. That's really, really safe. Because even if the sentries were to get rushed, which happens a lot in Wings of Liberty, you have the time warp available to use to slow them down, to prepare yourself, to keep them alive. So, nice defensive, yet gas-intensive opening here by Seed. Still a lot of questions going in Polt's mind, though. You know, why did he take double gas so early? Is it only to go straight for this? And look at this. A fake Oracle, a hallucinated Oracle is coming out here, and he will absolutely display it to Polt, force Polt to throw down bunkers. I wonder if he'll do damage with it, or whether he'll just float it around.
It's interesting. He intentionally kept it out of the Xel'Naga vision there, but it's almost kind of like you want them to see this so they freak out. But it's really only going to be scouting.
And here comes the turret down. All SCVs are pulled. Look at it. It's a complete fake. It's a complete fake here, and an interesting choice because you do see a lot of hallucinated Phoenix. But why would you go hallucinated Phoenix if, you know, obviously the Phoenix is a little bit faster? But that was damage dealt and scouting by Seed. Followed into 1-gate Robo to extra gateways into Stargate anyway. Hashtag mind games.
Seed's got crazy builds, man. Seed's got crazy builds.
This, like, because now Polt's like, alright, what is it? Okay, so he's obviously faked going Stargate. He's probably just gone Robo. He's, you know, if he was checking the Reaper, he may have seen the Observer as well in the center of the map. So now there's no... Did he actually let the turret complete in the main base?
Yes,
he did leave the turret complete in the main base. He doesn't have one on the natural. What are we going to see now from the Stargate? We've seen a lot of Phoenix builds recently from Protoss players looking to eliminate the Medivacs and also harass pickup units, scout, and so on and so on. And the Forge is complete as well. Oracle anyway. Seeds. Oracles actually, you know, they're very good versus light units anyway. Especially if they're, you know, considered support units behind the main front of an army. They do a lot of damage versus Marines. And especially if you can get them up to 4 to 5. Imagine now, because look at Seed's vision. Seed now knows his opponent's playing relatively, quote-unquote, normal. 3 barracks, factory coming, and now he's going to be expecting Polt to move out around the 10-minute mark, which is a very normal time and that everyone's known. He can see the factory, he can see the Stargate. If he considers banking up with Oracles and continues to build them, depending on if he uses them for harassment or not, he could get up to 4 and then use them in an attack to defend against what Polt potentially could be doing here. And Polt using that Reaper from the early stages he's going to see the Stargate.
He does.
He sees the Stargate, and he probably, if we're looking, would have seen the Oracles too. But here comes the Photon Overcharge from the Mothership Core onto the Nexus, trying to keep him safe, as it's relatively weak at the moment until these Oracles come out. But the thing is, Polt must not overstay his welcome. Without Medivacs here, this could get dangerous. He may be waiting for +1. He does have Stim. But with Force Fields and about 3 Oracles maybe by now, the Photon Overcharge is about to deplete in a couple of moments' time. That's maybe another thing that Polt's waiting for here as well. There is a Time Warp available to slow these units down. Force Fields are going to have to be perfect if this is going to happen. Third behind this is coming down by Polt. Combat Shields is not done with this army, so it's not the strongest army possible. But we don't have any upgrades down on these gateway units yet, and right now Polt is posturing. Likewise is Seed, and Seed moves down here, and he was looking to take that fight there. Polt not looking to move in, as the Photon Overcharge did complete, but a very, very crisp game by both players here at the moment. Very tense between them, small little maneuvers, and we just have straight over to the Templar Archives here from Seed, having get in the Twilight Council relatively early with the Zealot charge. And here come the Oracles here, not going to be used defensively as he had enough units, and he gets into the mirror line, and Polt's probably thinking, what the hell? And that's a lot of SCVs going down. And to be honest, I think he should have built a turret on that natural mineral line, especially upon seeing the Stargate for the second, or at least for the first time. I think that was maybe a bit of a blunder there from Polt. But these Oracles,
12
already
kills.
12 kills, 13. And they're going to get more because they've been banking energy for a long time. And Polt's losing SCVs. He loses the SCV build in his third base. That's not going to be an orbital. 17 SCVs are killed already here by Seed. And now Polt must be thinking, what the hell are you doing? And now with his units, is he going to try and get up the ramp? There's Force Fields, there's Storm in the way. If he's going to try and break this ramp, the Force Fields are going to cut him in half. There's an Immortal there as well that a +1 armor's done. And Pult can't be defensive now because the Oracles are left, and he can't be aggressive either because Seed is set up. And this is a really good game here by Seed. Lots of mind games, lots of really intelligent plays from him, and he's crippled Pult's income.
Yeah, not only that, there's no armory, so when Pult finishes his +1 armor, he's not going to be able to keep on upgrading. And even, as you mentioned previously, combat shield, there's no combat shield yet, so these Marines are...
Yeah, they've just been started. Well, combat shield's just been started here, but looks like Pult's going to go around. Observer does see the 2 medivacs pick up and leave. So we at least should have High Tempo already inside the main base, depending on if he's walked in any or not for some feedbacks. But maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have any yet. The 2 Oracles there are just going to destroy everything that lands, or at least attempt to. And they do so much damage. 2 Marines. Insta-gibbed. And there's a High Tempo now which can feedback, but at the same time he was a bit distracted on natural, I feel. With a cannon and multiple gateways, Zealots with Zealot charge, he shouldn't really take any damage from this double drop inside the main base here. And a Storm is now completed. He cuts off the front force. Probably storms inside the main base. Or maybe not, actually. It looks like he did use a feedback
just
there.
A feedback, yeah.
He's completely fine. You know, Seed is locked down tight. Almost, you know, only a couple of units lost, a couple of units. And as you said, the armory's not down.
Oh, and the factory's going to die now, so he's not getting an armory.
He's not getting upgrades for a long time here. Second starts.
That's the, oh shit, I lost my factory moment right there.
He's not building the factory, though. He's not building the factory here. And Pult, as good as he played the other day on Sunday, it's now Thursday and things have changed a little bit here, making a few mistakes, maybe a bit flustered with this playstyle from Seed here, coming out with such a unique playstyle, 2 Heart of the Swarm, and now we do have a Storm available with that single High Templar, a second one following behind it, double drops coming in here. We do have the Oracle and a couple of Zealots that easily can warp in a couple more units once the warp gates actually refresh here, but it just can't seem to do damage, and now the 3rd is broken down. There's a lot of units in good position here, but there is +2 armor. There's only 1/1 on these. There are storms available as well. And of course, you can always force field down there to prevent the units from stimming down and then get into the command center. That's exactly what Seed wanted to do there. So Seed just... Oh, good storm there as well. On top of the escaping SCVs and units trying to break down. He didn't quite get the command center. Can force field himself out now as well. And a couple of loose medivacs here. Got to be careful not to lose that, but Seed now has lost a few units though. If you look at the supply count, does have a 3rd base on the way and +3 armor, but it's 1/1 upgrades and the factory still hasn't even been made.
Yeah, keeping this command center alive though, definitely huge. He almost lost it. If he lost that, his income is crippled, and actually this is really bad for Seed.
This is bad. He's caught out there, and oh dearie me, and Seed actually overextending potentially on that 3rd base. Didn't kill it, tried to kill it, couldn't kill it, and now he's losing a lot of his own units, but he does have a lot of gateways, there's a lot of High Templars. Lost a fair amount in the middle of the map there, which did give, you know, the upper edge towards Pult again. The factory must have completed, as the armory is now on its way finally here, and we will have 2-2 surely beginning shortly. But before that actually begins, we will have +3 armor on the way. I'd still give the lead to Seed though. He's got a lot of free supply. If you look at 128 to 196, he doesn't need pylons anymore, guys. He can just build nothing but units. He's got his 3rd on the way. He's got a few more probes than Pult does. He's got +3 armor, and there's no Ghost Academy down yet, only just now starting. So High Templar are going to be crucial in landing the right storms, and likewise here for Pult, he's going to be crucial to dodge those storms. And Seed does see this army approaching. A scan goes down to check how much units, or how many units there that Seed has. A lot of cannons as well. Seed feeling threatened here. Feeling really threatened.
Yeah, I think he might be aware of the upgrade advantage, so he's just thinking, yeah, as long as I don't die, I shouldn't be able to lose, so cannon's not a bad idea at all. And
a big drop here that wasn't really scouted, unfortunately. He may be able to notice that units are missing, as an Oracle and Zealot still remain inside the main base. The switch over to Colossus is on its way, with a 2nd robotics facility and robotics bay down 2. So as soon as these 3rd gases are being taken, it looks like it will go over. Is great pinging there.
That was someone else. That was
probably
me.
Todd or someone. I don't know, one of the other language casters. But this is a big drop entering the main base here, and there's no High Templar left, and he's going to have to pull everything from the natural. Going to lose a couple of gateways here, and at the same time, Pult's going to run into the natural with quite a significant force. There are cannons there. Oh, good time warp and good storm, but he may not have dealt with everything in the main base. And Pult is up to 190 supply, and Seed is at 135. I really can't believe what I'm seeing here. I really can't, and the 3rd base is about to be broken down as well. Seed has to defend with storms. He's doing a good job so far, and he is bringing the supply closer and closer. It's a very tense, very close fight here. Remember, these units are still 1-1 against the +3 armored units. Gosh, Seed is making this difficult for himself here a little bit. He's lost all his defense on the third base, and I'll tell you straight, if that third base goes down, Seed could actually lose this game from an advantageous position that he was in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't lose this third base. It's that simple.
The reinforcements, it just seems like too much.
And Pult is just streaming units across, and in a couple of seconds' time, they will have 2-2. He's going to eat that storm a little bit. Are these +3 zealots going to be enough? I don't know. It's going to be close. It's very, very close. It looks like with reinforcements, though, Pult still may be able to bring Seed down here, and here they come in. Seed is down to 50 probes. He's got 2 high tempo in the field. I don't know really where they are. A lot of zealots are coming in again. The Archon doing lots of damage here as well. Zealots with +3 armor do not die fast when these units only have +1 attack. But as mentioned, in seconds time, 2-2's done. GG. I actually can't believe that.
Yeah, I
can't
mean,
believe that.
The game was going so well for CD. He was just dictating the pace of the game. He went in with his
until that one point at that third where he lost too many units compared to the value that he did there. Because if you look at it, on that third base, he went in, he didn't kill a lot of SCVs, he didn't kill the third base, but in return lost quite a few units, was caught out in the middle of the map as well. And from there, he was always on the back foot a little bit, was kind of falling back to Pult's aggression, back and forth, and Pult just kept the pressure on. And I think if Seed had had 30 seconds more of free time, then I think he easily could have gotten in there. You know, the Colossus switch, being a bit more set up defensively, more units from those gateways he had. But I'm very surprised that Pult was able to win that game, actually.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it, but the key turning point when he was pulling back and half his units went on the low ground below the Xel'Naga Tower and the other half went up. I mean, you can tell there's just a moment where you just click back to your main base, assume your units are moving together, and hasn't played hundreds and thousands of games on that map, so it doesn't quite realize that. That might not go like that.
Well, Pult takes game number 1 here of this best of 3. Remember, the same rules apply. Win the best of 3, win $125, move on to play against somebody else. And that somebody else is going to be Damaga. So Damaga patiently waiting here in the background, not within the studio, but the background of the stream, waiting to find out who we will play against. And Pult currently with the lead. What map has Seed now chosen, having double map choice?
Cloud Kingdom.
Cloud Kingdom it is, so let's go ahead and get ready to jump into map number 2 once these players are ready. Cloud Kingdom, I guess that makes a lot of sense for a Protoss defensive. I think on Cloud Kingdom it is relatively defensive. It's easier to, because if you, I'm saying a lot of things at once but trying to say one thing. From a Protoss perspective, you have 2 locations you have to defend. Your natural, when you're on 2 base that is, your natural, where behind the mineral line where drops can come in, and right in the back right if you're in the bottom of the map, that bottom right. And that's very easy to defend, especially with Photon Overcharge. So I think Seed's going into this, playing a lot more compact defensive on 2 base, and we'll take the game from there. I think we'll see a very similar game, maybe to Wings of Liberty style, but anything is possible with these 2 players showing us how to play Heart of the Swarm. Are they ready out of BC?
Pult is indeed ready, just waiting for Seed, and Seed's ready, so we are going to get underway.
Nice click there, buddy. Nice click there indeed. So let's go ahead and jump into the game now, and let's see how things are going to happen for the rest of this. As you can see, both the players are there live. The games are played out live. It's relatively early in Korea right now. It's about 3:30 in the morning. Pult, though, in America, so it's probably 3:30 in the afternoon or lunchtime. So a difference in time zones, but one thing in common, StarCraft 2, baby. StarCraft 2. Okie doke, down here in the bottom left for the final day of the King of the Hill Heart of the Swarm series, it is LGIM Seed, one of 2 Protoss champions. Who's the other champion out of BC? In GSL?
MC.
Well done. Well done, well done, well done.
Oh, Todd.
Oh, what are you going to do? You're the boss, man. Make the decision.
Todd, you fucking owe me one, buddy.
Wow. Out of BC, the savior of the French.
Yeah.
Wow. You savior. You are looking
The only reason I
forward.
did it is because I think also the Russian co-casters also didn't get in the lobby. So, but I told them you got to join. You know, we set the pace here, and you got to follow the pace.
I reckon it's something else.
What?
I reckon I know why you did it.
Why?
Because you're going to French soon. And you want to be nice to
I'm
the
gonna make
French.
Todd buy
Because
me
you
some
know,
wine.
if you had said no,
Yeah,
you would have maybe
there'd be
peed
some
off.
angry French people.
There'd be
yeah.
some angry French people, and you're traveling to France in a week and a half. And I think that's the real reason. I don't buy this excuse of a Russian co-caster. I don't even think we have a Russian stream.
I don't know. He's either Russian or Polish. I don't know, but there's some guy in here, and I'm letting him do his thing.
All right. Adebisi the Merciful moves
This guy's
on.
very apologetic as well, so we'll let it fly.
We'll let it fly.
Both players are ready. Take number 2.
All right, let's jump into take number 2 here, as we do have Todd and his friends who are commentating in French. If you want to listen to alternate casting, if you speak French as first language and didn't know that there's a French cast and you prefer it, then you can go ahead and tune in to the French stream. So we are now loading in to Cloud Kingdom. It is Seed's map choice. Remember, Seed had map choice number 1, which was Akalon Waste being the challenger versus Pult. And we do have him choosing Cloud Kingdom here as well. And up to the top right this time, we have Pult88 on Twitter. Qualify for MLG Dallas. Rarely, if ever, uses mech without a H. And that's true. I don't think we'll see it here either. And his opponent down here, of course, LGIMC, one of 2 Protoss champions, is the trivia question out of BC Pass. It is, of course, MC. The only 2 Protoss champions ever in the GSL, Wings of Liberty era. Ever, because the current one doesn't have any Protoss in either.
How many other finalists played Protoss? Name 2. Name 2.
Name 2? Do you know them?
Yeah.
You're gonna. Okay.
There's at least 2.
There's at least 2. All right. Genius.
All right, 3.
No, you can't go back on
What
it.
finals did Genius play in?
He played against Dom Regu, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he did. All right.
Genius and another finalist. Let me think. Younghwa. Wasn't he finalist?
No, Youngblood
No.
can't even qualify for Code A, man.
You put me on the spot. I know the chat's probably going crazy. Let me think again. No, he didn't get there. He got to semi-final. I've drawing a blank. Hold on.
Oh,
Adebisi.
oh, jeez.
Adebisi.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know who's. Give me number 2.
We've got Squirtle.
Oh, yeah.
And, all right, you got to get this one. By the way, double gas once again, and command center first. DTs.
Oh, Inca back in the day. Yeah.
Okay, he's on Azubu now? You don't know.
I don't know.
You
man.
don't know.
I don't know.
Do you even watch StarCraft
Do I
anymore,
ever watch
Paulo?
StarCraft? I'm totally not busy organizing everything else around StarCraft.
Oh.
No, I actually drew a blank because there's so few Protoss players in GSL on the top end of GSL. I was picking up a lot of semi-finalists and quarter-finalists, but I couldn't think of finalists at that time. But anyway, command center first down here by Pult with a 1-0 lead. Straight into double barracks here. Scoutless so far, just sending out now first Marine. Or SCV. SCV, sorry. And we do have double gas again here by Seed. And with double gas, you know, you don't have to be aggressive with it. It's so much of a mind game that comes into it as well. And that's a very early mothership core, by the way. Once again, and he's even chrono boosting into it. I wonder what he's got planned with this very early mothership core. Getting it out this early, he's going to have double time warp.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
fast.
That's
And
really fast.
I feel like this build, if he's going Sentry second, so it's not going to be 2 Stalkers, but I mean, against Command Center first, if you just get across the map fast with your Stalkers, and they don't see it coming...
Does he know it's command center first?
No, he's playing blind.
But not only if he knew it was, he can still go anyway.
Yeah,
whether
exactly.
it be time warping the main base mineral line, whether it be a bit of pressure with Stalkers, as you said, there are a couple of options. And Pult's probably confused just as we are here, sending out another SCV, trying to figure out what his opponent's actually doing, and the mothership core's on its way. And it will have a very fast time warp. Behind this, looks like Seed is just going to take an expansion with a Stalker and Sentry at home. So it is just a mothership core alone to harass. Could have been backed up by others. It takes about 4 shots to kill an SCV-ish. Am I right?
It does 8 damage. So
5.
that's 40. 6.
6. Adebisi, the stat man today. As the Mothership Core is also good for scouting too. If you think about Protoss is a little bit weak when it comes to scouting early game. He's now going to have all the information available, and he's already seen Command Center first. And he looks like he will be trekking towards the back, and he will have double time warp by the time he gets around to the back. At least use one, and then another one if he wants to waste his energy, that is, or use his energy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought it was 4 because it kills it so fast.
It's got a pretty high attack rate.
Fast.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast. It has picked up 2 kills. 2 kills so far. Robo straight behind this, and here we do have Seed going to go into the mineral line and do a bit more damage. Uh-oh, Port's looking to set a trap here. And he's doing a bit of damage to the mineral line. And there's the time warp on the gas and a couple of Marines. He's going to kill both these Marines as well without losing the Mothership Core, but as soon as he retreats, he's dead. And Port set that trap. And I don't think Seed may be expecting this.
Well, he saw so few Marines. Maybe he's a little suspicious, but no, he's
just gonna die here. Port's gonna pick up the win, and there it is. Good trap there by Port. Time warp being used anyway, and the Mothership Core does go down. Congratulations, Port. You've earned yourself 25 XP. And going into the game itself now, we do have all 4 gases being taken on the natural. And by the looks of it, Robotics Bay should be coming down immediately here with the amount of gas that he's got saved up. And with the Robotics Bay, he can also put down Double Forge too, with the amount of gas, because he went double gas so early. It depends though, he doesn't have to. We'll see what Seed wants to develop as a plan here, but how many sentries does he have?
got a good 3.
But the gases were so early, and they've all got a lot of energy here. And it's really safe to have 3 sentries at this point. And we'll see if he's going to forge up or not. It could be a 2-base Colossus old school style, but I doubt it, especially being 0-1 behind. I'm expecting forges to come down shortly here. It is getting a little bit towards the later stages. But of course, as the Robotics Bay finishes, he's going to have to spend a lot of minerals here. Port, upon seeing 3 sentries and knowing his opponent had taken gases on the natural pretty fast, is going to look to do a bit of pressure here. And this will keep forges away, as every little bit of resources will be used to defend this. And what kind of force field are we going to have here? A defensive one, a cut-off one, and there's going to be a cut-off one here. And good micro with the sentries. Good splitting. Hasn't lost the unit yet. Hasn't lost the unit at all. And killed off a lot of units there.
Yeah, perfect trade there. Only having lost the mothership so far and killing all those Marines. Very nice.
So this is the breathing room now where we expect the forges to come down. And there they do come. It is going to be double as expected. And Colossus production is on the way. Thermal Lance hasn't started yet. And I'm interested to see if it does start. You don't need... You want to be getting it now. Otherwise, it's just going to be a single Colossus. We're going to see a relatively early Twilight Council in this game. It's just going to be like a fake out. And Thermal Lance not coming down is kind of pushing it towards that direction. Because you don't want to spend Chrono Boost in it. And you don't want to leave it too late because it then won't complete because you're not spending Chrono Boost in it. So that's what I'm feeling here from Seed. On the other hand, quite a lot of barracks down. No third command center. And this is Port's kind of... It always used to be one of his trademarks in this matchup. He was going 5 barracks, was hitting the pressure, hitting it hard, and being all over the place. And that's what we're going to be seeing here. And then he will expand behind it, which we do see come down. Second Colossus is on its way, still no Thermal Lance. It now starting to cross the borderline into an error.
Yeah,
with Thermal Lance not coming down. That's meaning that Marauders can get up close, can target them down if the force fields aren't good. Stalkers are set in the main base with an observer to help give that extra vision. And I guess he's very much so aware of the fact that Medivacs have the Ignite afterburners, which makes things a little bit more difficult to defend. But there's only 2 locations he needs to defend. But we're going to see how Port splits his units. Where does he drop the most? Does he drop a little? Does he drop a lot? Does he attack the front with a lot? 1-1 is on its way. The Twilight Council 2. Second Colossus down. No Thermal Lance at all.
Maybe it's not a mistake. Maybe he just wants to have 2.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to have 2. And if you built a third, then I'd say it was a mistake.
I agree.
2 is okay to have here, and he should be looking to go straight over to 2-2. Remember, not getting Thermal Lance is 200 gas that he can use for units, for upgrades for Templar Archive, which we see coming down immediately here. So he's going to probably show 2, which will keep the Viking count high, and then we'll obviously switch over into Templar Archives. Because seeing 2 Colossus will push the Vikings up to 8 to higher, depending on how active Port's scouting is here. But we're about to see if Port can actually do anything. He did invest in 5 barracks instead of 3 before expanding. He doesn't necessarily need to do damage because he is keeping Seed very defensive upon scouting that. And we do have the double engineering bay and the armory on time, so Looks like Seed is very defensively set up here. Pult very much so showing that image of aggression, but not really. That was a big stem for no reason. Not really looking to break through here. He kind of knows at the same time, you know, if he does be aggressive into a very defensive Seed, and Pult loses units, then Seed takes an advantage in the game. So does he need to be aggressive?
Not until the Nexus is down, pretty much.
So that's kind of the way that Pult seems to be playing this. Still maintains a good 15 supply lead, and there comes the Nexus. The Temple Archives is done, so feedbacks will be used here, especially because maybe that double stim was actually to keep the units down as well, to keep the Medivac health down, to make sure that he doesn't get beaten by Temple Archives, or by High Templar using feedback. Either way, we do have 2-2 about to begin now for Pult. 2-2 halfway through. Double Scouting Phoenix, Hallucinated Phoenix are being used. You do not need to research the upgrade in Heart of the Swarm. One doesn't get picked off. Both of them will break through. And he sees units in the middle. And we already have a Warp Prism on the way too here. So looks like Seed's going to be defensive yet aggressive with that Warp Prism. And again, a very good game by both players here. Aside from the mistakes we saw in Series 1 by Seed a little bit with the rally or mis-rally of units. Again, we're seeing a top-level Heart of the Swarm game here, guys. And girls. Scan eliminates the Observer as Pult gets ready to take his first potential fight here, but doesn't really want to lose the Vikings. Even though the Colossus doesn't have Thermal Lance, they're still going to be doing a lot of damage with +2 attack near on the way. A lot more gateways down as well. Where did that Warp Prism go? Is it around anywhere? Good question. I'm pretty sure he's... Unless it's... There it is. There it is. And it has been spotted and almost killed. But we're about to have Pult reaching 170 supply and will continue to rise. And that's a very scary army again. Very, very scary army. And Ghosts will start to come into play soon as the Ghost Academy does come down. Second Starport as well to make sure that the switch over to Colossus, the main Colossus force, doesn't stop him or stop Pult in his tracks. The Warp Prism again. Scouted. One Marine thinks he can get it, but not. But this is good for Seed, being this defensive. He hasn't taken any damage. He's got 3-3 on the way. He's building towards 200 supply as fast as he can without taking damage with good upgrades. It's good.
Yeah, it's very nice. Pult, he's behind in upgrades, of course, with his 2-2 only just finishing, but Command Center is getting added in, Ghost's going to get mixed in, and he was very smart. He didn't overmake Vikings. He only made 6, which is a perfect number in this circumstance.
Yep, perfect number by Pult, perfect reading as well. But as we say, Seed's in good position. Likewise, is Pult, who hasn't lost units, as simple as that. So neither of them have really lost anything in this game, aside from that early force field trap by Seed in the Mothership core as well. But here we do have Seed moving into the open ground. So is Pult scanning, checking if there's any observers. 3-3, very close to finishing here. That'll be the advantage that Seed will be looking to take a fight with. And I think he's killing off a few units there to squeeze out, what was it, Ghosts? Killing a few Marines there on Marauders to squeeze out a few more Ghosts. And he is going to drop. He scans his army, and actually, that Observer, I think, saw it. Oh, maybe it didn't know it was on the high ground, so it didn't see it. And that's a hefty drop coming into the natural. There is a High Temple, but it just loaded into the Warp Prism. 2 more do get put down, though. And the Zealots there will be able to scout the Medivacs coming in, maybe. But we are going to see the Medivacs come. The Warp Prism will do it. Seed's going to get a heads up here. Pult's about to break down. The Afterburners are going to kick in. And there they do. And the High Templar are going to have to storm in. They're not going to hit feedbacks. The Medivacs don't have energy because Pult's kept them low. He stimmed his units. And look, it only brings down to about a third of health there. The second one, 2/3. And Pult now leading with the first blow in this game. And at the same time, we do have defense coming in from Seed. An attack as well by Seed. But Pult picking off the robotics facility, keeping the Colossus count down and dead in this game. And with a 4th base as the Planetary Fortress and turret, he's on 4 bases. He's got 3-3 on the way. 3-3 is about to finish here for Seed. With double robotics facilities, we will see Colossus come in again. But he's had to bring a lot of these units back to defend. And he does defend without taking too many losses. But counter-attack coming in here by Seed. Double Storms coming down into the middle line. 1-2. Good-ish pull from Pult. Loses a few, though, for sure. And Warp Prism does get picked off here. 158 supply to 163. Remember, Pult is winning this game and is winning this series, should I say, with 1 game over Seed, who's about to take a 4th base. He is at 3-3 with shields on the way. This would be an opportunity, a prime time for Seed to hit. Pult has double expanded. He's very, very thin, especially with anticipating the Warp Prism in this play. 3-3 over 2-2 is the right time for Seed to start to make his movement here. He's going to move up here, loses the Colossus instantly, and if I'm not mistaken, they still do not have Thermal Lance.
No, they do not.
And they're gone. And now it's all about the High Templar versus Ghosts. And there's a lot of Ghosts. 6 Ghosts there. Few High Templar as well. A lot of scans going down here, and this could be a very dangerous moment for Seed here. Despite having 3-3, he's at 160 supply. I think he's waiting to build Colossus.
Yeah, there he goes. Queues up 2 immediately.
Instead of going up to 200 supply here, so he's looking to play defensive on 3 base, but this could be a problem for him. Instead, that decision, that fork in the road to make Colossus instead of units, has allowed Pulp to be 5 bases.
Yeah, precisely. And he's going to lose his window here where he's got 3-3 and his opponent doesn't.
Good force fields, keeping that army. A good storm could come down, but Pult snipes the High Templar that was coming from the East Wing. Another storm goes down, but it gets sniped and doesn't really do anything. And if the High Templars go, this could be disastrous. A good storm finally comes down from Seed. A good secondary storm as well. And that has brought Pult's army down, and it will retreat. But as mentioned, 5 bases, a lot of money in the bank here. Colossus does have Thermal Lance.
Yes.
It does have Colossus, or more Colossus coming out now. The Viking count is at how many?
Still 10.
10, that's still a lot. Do they have upgrades?
Yeah, at least +1 here. Let me...
At least +1.
+2, actually.
And in the later
And
stages...
+3 on the way.
Oh, +3 on the way. Pult has set himself up beautifully. I think that Pult's played this, I think, better than Seed. Not fighting into a defensive player. Expanding twice when Seed wasn't looking to move across the map. Analyzing that he was playing a defensive, look to max out, fast base play. And now we're going to have 4 medivacs that pick up. That's a lot of army value missing from the ground force here, but 3-3 is now done for the ground army. And we do have a lot of Vikings down. Star Gates on the way. +1 as well for the Stargate units here. Looks like Seed is going to be switching over to Tempest very shortly to start to zone and control the middle of this map here on Cloud Kingdom. Of course, once the Stargate's complete, we'll have to get fleet beacons down. But these Vikings and this drop is scary. And the 6th base coming down for Pult. More orbitals at the north side, realizing that he's got so many minerals just to spend and use. And this drop, if the defense isn't there in the main base, we're going to see a lot. Pult scan sees the entire army on the 4th. There's nothing. The Stargates, the robotics facilities, the Nexus. A High Temple gets whooped in, but it doesn't matter. That's a lot of Marauders. They're going to do a lot of damage here. And Pult with another decisive drop, another decisive blow. The Colossus count will not go high. The Stargate play can never come in now. And this is another big blow here by Pult. Looking to close out the series, looking to take his wins further on.
Yeah, and I mean, scanning at the 4th base to see if Seed is overreacting so he can move in with his main force. Just brilliant play here coming out from Pult. And Seed doing a good job not overreacting, but he's just kind of slowly getting whittled away.
Slowly whittled away, dwiddled away the entire of the game. Small moves. He's going to lose the main Nexus, which means the gas, the assimilators in the main base cannot be utilized. He does keep 1 Stargate alive and 1 robotics facility, and he is set up very defensively with Cannon, Storm, Colossus. But behind this, Pult will start to bank a lot of money. He's got a lot of gas. Will we see Pult go battle cruisers? Will we see a super late army composition from Pult? Or is he confident on breaking this down with nukes as we see? Uh-oh. Okay, 3-4 cannons are going to go down there. And that's going to soften this defense. And Seed realizes that as well. 3 cannons do go down, a couple of probes. 5 nukes on the way. Pult is having fun. He is breaking his opponent down. And Seed, I don't see what he can do at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been pushed into a corner. It looks like a War Prism is heading out. He does have speed. But all these bases have planetaries, turrets, everything just set up so well by Pult.
Seed has got 2 Warp Prisms on the map, but he doesn't have anything in them, and he doesn't have any supply to actually cool anything down. Another nuke is coming down, double. Uh-oh. Where is Seed's army going to be here? It does actually, the main nuke gets cancelled. The second one though is about to blow the probes up, and he does hit it. Seed takes a massive blow, another big blow in this game. And Paul is just walking over his opponent here with 4,000 minerals, 2,000 gas. 7 zealots get walked into the natural potentially here through losing those probes, and that's the only form of harassment we can actually see from Seed. The only form of aggression from Seed in this game is that one move now at the 26-minute mark, and this could be the final engagement of the game. Storms come down, Vikings start firing onto the Colossus, decent EMPs though as well, but with Cloak and no observers, actually they're at the back there, so there is a couple. Another nuke, but looks like, oh my gosh.
I think that Ghost got a good 50 kills in total between those two nukes.
Oh my golly gosh. How many probes does he even have left? 20. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh boy. Seed is going to have to fight now or never. He's got 50 minerals in the bank. He's got no probes. Polton has nailed this game. Really well played against the defensive Protoss play. And here comes the final fight. Whether you like it or not, Seed, you are taking this fight because Polt will turn around and he will fight. Here come the Ghosts. Here come the EMPs. There go the Colossus. Good storms to keep the Vikings away from the Colossus. But Polt is hungry. Polt wants his second win in a row in the King of the Hill series. Of course, his last win was on Sunday against Hyun, and he is looking to beat down Seed, who's dropped down to 130 to supply. And Polt continues his reign of terror in Heart of the Swarm here with a 2-0 if he just wins this next fight. So much money. Seed's got nothing. He's got Archons, and that is it. That is all that Seed can hope on. Archons. All the high tempo get warped in. Archons and Storms, that is it. There's no minerals, he's got no probes. Plant your fortress is going to lock this down. It's going to be very difficult if there's units around there. Or at least if there's units around there. And they're the units who come in a little bit late. And it looks like that will fall. But with the amount of money that Port has, he's back up to 175 supply in an instant. He has a swarm attack coming in Zerg style from Port as he comes in from multiple angles. The Colossus exposed, the high tempo are exposed, the units fall, and Seed calls GG, and Port takes 2 victories in the King of the Hill Heart of the Swarm series. His first win was against Hyun, his second win against Seed, and he will continue on today in the final day of the King of the Hill series against Dimago, the Ukrainian. Whoa. What a game number 1 from Polt, or game number 2, or series from Polt, once again displaying who he is and why he's here.
Yeah, just dominant play, and looking at it, it's like, I think, like, did we see any holes in his play? I mean, he lost his factory without having an armory in game 1.
Game 1 was a little bit shakier. Game 2, I think he played a pretty solid game. I think the thing is that you can look at that game and say, wow, that was kind of slow, which it was. You know, don't get me wrong there. But you have to look at the marvelous play and thought process from Polt, saying, well, if he's going to tighten his defenses, why do I attack in? Even though I opened up aggressive, which is the main reason for Seed setting up defensively, Polt said, all right, fine. I'll keep you on 2 bases, keep you frightened for as long as I can. I'll take 3rd, I'll take a 4th and a 5th. And he never took a fight in a defensive position, because a lot of Terran players probably would have made the mistake of being, I've gone 5 barracks. That's an investment. I could have gone 3 barracks and a fast command center. I've got to do something. I've got to do something out of BC. I've got to do something. And then they die. They lose units. And likewise, you know, he could have run into the 3rd, could have run into the 4th. But good game from Polt again.